Staring at the tapestry above the bed you gave me. I still haven't washed my sheets. I still smell you in the bed you used to rest your head. How the hell am I supposed to sleep? Can we fix something? Can we change like the seasons? I wanna make her better, wipe the makeup from her face. I wish her heart didn't matter. I wish I didn't wanna stay. I wanna wear her sweater and not break down in my bones.
ちょっと前、今じゃない、さっきよりも前、ちょっとマウントしてすごいさすが。ちょっと最近とか言って、ちょっと前やねんけど、編集で。
And the better taste of you.
ね、誰ですかみたいなね。急に入ってきて、
Now I'm drunk on Chardonnay that I brought for our picnic day, and we never got to drink it, so I'm writing what I'm thinking. You could have told me sooner, I was sure that it was me you used to want to hold me close. You used to want all of me. What's the reason for your tears? And what's the reason for your fears? In my mind I'm kissing you. Oh, and my dog, she misses you. Can we both face our demons? Can
りさんです。あー、さおちん。カメラマンのさおりさん、そう。
Something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh, dreamy, breezy, we go easy, easy on our tiptoes. Undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. Hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching for the grand. As willows align, we lose track of time. Head up high, now we climb. Oh, dreamy, breezy, we go easy, easy on our tiptoes. Undercover
Ruby shoes, rosy cheeks, skipping down Linden Street. Here's the bird sings along, joining in their morning song. Big ideas, little hands, dreaming up mighty plans. Waves hello to the sun, a new adventure has begun. There's pirates and princes and crocodile caves, and skies full of ships that the starlight engraves. I lay in my bed and I think of that girl, all of the magic she held in her world. If she saw us now, I wish I'd make her proud. Tell her the stories of wonders we found. Oh, I need her back, tracing her tracks, following maps so I can catch a flight towards the second star to the right. Busy streets, blinding lights, chasing dreams, losing time. Life becomes a leaky boat. You're rowing just to stay afloat. The more you live, the more it seems that shine can fade from everything. Eventually, it's all the same, and you're just getting through the day. There's heartbreaks and mistakes.
ライト的ライトあいい感じいい感じあら
あらあら
すごいね
あら
あれ
あれ急にあれ久々よ
Today my colleagues made fun of me at lunch.
I used to bounce on knees, fresh from the oven, chubby and carefree. I had a mind at ease. Now I always see the trees, birds and the beasts and the man and his empty deeds. I see everything. I got my feet.
Yeah, the Bulata is really good. And then for sure I love this song.